Yep. Episode 6, the Rainmakers Real Estate Podcast. And so this week we actually we had a call yesterday, a weekly call for the Blast CRM, and which kind of inspired today's episode, which really just in building out the CRM and working through acquisition teams and I've done it a lot in the last year, and Myron, you've done it a lot longer than that, and have seen a lot of the things that work and don't work in terms of setting up automations and what we need to do within the CRM to just make things move more effectively, efficiently across the team. So we figured we'd share that with you all, and so we wanted to go over 5 automations that an acquisition team should have in their CRM. And and then if anybody has feedback too, any like ideas or things that you do for your CRM, that'd be awesome to hear as well.
Yeah. So we're primarily using the CRM to me, it's a primary agent outreach system. Since we can do emailing, texting, we can build websites, we can make phone calls. Like you can do direct to seller real estate outreach. Okay, you can do direct to seller, but our primary focus has been reaching out to agents to do creative financing. So whether it's doing a subject to deal, doing a seller finance deal, Morby method, cash deals, those all are a part of it. And we want, so I think every week we're adding or tweaking or doing something just a little bit better, a little bit different to make it easier for everybody. And so like Bobby, what's been like for you, what's been like the biggest help? Like what's helped you the most? What's been the biggest improvement in your business using the CRM?
It would be follow-up. It would be the follow-up and really having the automation. So follow-up and the initial drip campaign for emails and texts. And really just, I think that's the biggest thing is like a lot of the times when we're outreach to agents, especially, which is what I'm focused on. I rarely do direct to seller, but there's a high response rate for emails, but a lot of times they miss them. Like everybody misses their email. And so having, a second follow-up, a third follow-up, a fourth follow-up, like going up to 8 follow-ups in a different day, every 2 days, maybe every third day, just reminding them like, hey, I'm guessing you're not interested in our offer by like the third or fourth day. Or another one that works really well. And like the 5th time that I reach out, it's like, hey, can you call me? And then bam, they call. So it's like they saw the email and they probably thought, whatever, this isn't legit. They're waiting for a call. And yes, that's what we want. We want the team to make the calls. We can't just rely on the email. But if we are sending out a high volume of leads and we haven't gotten to it yet, now we're just saying, hey, can you call me by like the 5th one? And then they'll call. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me is like letting the CRM do the work in terms of outreach and communications and follow up. Yeah. That's what I'd say. What about you?
To me, it's that, but I can also organize my leads. When I was not using a CRM and I was only using Google Sheets, and that's how I started my whole, I started with a CRM. That was my first thing. I started with learning a CRM, and then I like let go of it. I'm like, I'm just going to go. I was I had an ego about making $1 million with Google Sheet system. That was it. And I got really close. I got really close. I probably made, in assignments, we probably made 500K. I'm like, okay, we need to like get our stuff straight. And um, anyways, it's been like managing the leads. Managing the leads has like what's going on with all of our hot leads right now? What's going on with our cold leads? What's going on with the properties we have under contract? I when I first built it out, I just had a whiteboard and I had everything written on a. I'm looking at my whiteboard. I had every single deal. It may have been like 30 at a time with the address, the EMD that I had put against that house, and the inspection date and the close date. And I was like on a whiteboard. I did it every single day, right? And well, what a lot to like manage through Google Sheets and a whiteboard. So
Mm.
for me, it was like, where is stuff? How can I look at stuff quickly to manage it as, as an owner of our business? So anyway, um, now we're like going crazy with workflows, um, websites, spin tax, like all these cool things that we want to go over today. I think it's just
Mhm.
incredible. Like if we can think it up, we can get it done, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the like the biggest thing. It's so cool because once you get the basics down of what you're trying to do, and you know like those things are flowing in, the team has their leads, and um at least you have that basic process in place, then you can really start to have some fun with how do we little by little like chisel away at the like inefficiencies or the things that are maybe tedious or whatever the case is, like within the
Yep.
system. And so much as like one of them we'll talk about is like a form coming in, and we'll be able to automate that all the way down to getting a document signed, and like the workflow automations of that all is like next level. Instead of having to wait on for somebody to send out a document to get signed, like an NDA or a JV agreement or something like that, now you can kind of have that all automated within a workflow so that it's seamless when somebody is trying to have you JV with them to dispo, or they're a buyer and they want to enter in their information.
Yeah.
So that's really the fun stuff once you get a lot of the basics down.
So let's start. Um, let's start with the text bot because we talked about, when we're sending emails and we're sending texts for follow up to these agents, and they text you back saying, what is this, or what's your offer? Um, what's up, ball up? I have no idea who that is. Sorry. Sorry, ball up. I don't know who you are. But yeah, the agents text back and say, what exactly is this? I don't understand. What's the down payment? What's your offer? What are the terms? Blah, blah, blah. In the CRM, you can build a bot that responds in like for subject to offer, right? Or helps you qualify that lead. Okay. So you start with your initial workflow, and then you add in if they respond, if the agent responds with a text message, I want AI to read that text message, introduce themselves, and start qualifying them as a lead or disqualifying. So um, that to me, what's cool is like you have a team, Bobby, and let's say you have a team of like 5 people, and they are all it's 7 o'clock at night. They're all eating dinner with their family or doing whatever they're doing, and nobody's looking at their messages. Okay. What happens? It's not until tomorrow, probably afternoon, that someone responds to that agent. They're going to put their kids to bed. They're going to read a book. They're going to relax. I'm not going to screw Bobby and his team. Like, I'm done with the day. I'm not going to respond until probably 10 o'clock the next day. Well, AI has already had a full conversation and qualified or disqualified that lead,
Mhm.
right? While your team, it's like, to me, I want to use AI to enhance. I talk about this all the time. I don't want it to take over everything. I want it to enhance the things that we do, like make it leveled up, right? Because we still want to give that agent the real touch, the real, like, hey, AI kind of qualified it. It put it on Bobby's calendar to call back. Hey, we're gonna set an appointment for tomorrow morning. I'd rather the AI texting bot set the appointment on my calendar and then 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's a warm phone call. That to me is like next level.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, and I was actually texting Miguel, who is so him and I run like an acquisitions team, and he is the closer on the team. And so I set up before, like as we were going through a transition period and getting on some new people onto the team too, there was a like, hey, we need to like continue to generate some leads. And uh I sent out a seller find like a list of high equity leads, and it ended up booking um, 3 appointments for Miguel. And I was like, "Hey, are you getting those?" He's like, "Yeah." And he didn't had no idea that I had this text bot like doing it. And you like look through the conversation, it's awesome. Like it actually legitimately just is. I sent the list and I did nothing else. It literally had the conversation because of Miguel's Google Calendar is hooked up. It then went and had the conversation. It gave time options. The agent was like, "Yeah, that time is fine. Okay, cool." And it booked it on Miguel's calendar, and I didn't have to do a thing. And I'm like, man, that
So
is
this is like
so
the high
money.
equity SMS,
Yeah,
high equity SMS bot that's already built into the system. You just used it as it is.
yeah. I didn't touch. I.
Dope.
It's so awesome. I was like, my mind was blown because I'm like, you see those coming in? Because I'm like, I can send out these lists and then uh W2 and then all the other things too that I'm involved in.
Family. Yeah.
Yep.
All the
Yeah.
things.
And to see that stuff working, to be able to set up the closer. And we haven't converted any of those yet to a contract yet. I can't wait to follow that. Like as soon as we do, I'm going to like definitely talk through that. Like I want to share that because that's such a huge win from like AI booking that thing all the way to getting it to close
I love
would be
it.
cool to share.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes the stress for me personally, it takes the stress off of it. Takes some of the stress off of it. Like I'm not worried. It's all everyone says it's speed to lead, right? So whether it's someone in foreclosure, an agent, just a seller with a landlord seller, if you are getting those appointments first, then you have more of a chance to win, right? You have more chance to get that deal. And dude, AI has been such a problem solver for us in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So another one too that uh is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but I actually am surprised when I've worked with a couple of teams too, and it's not very I guess it's not very obvious that this exists, at least even within like go high level. But there's the auto dialer, the idea of creating a list and then being able to set up your team and just say, hey, here you go, let this thing dial and call, and you sit there and you just on auto, it's auto dialer. So you're basically, I didn't know it existed in Go High Level until, and I was messaging you about it, and then I learned how to set that up. But within the workflow, you're literally like go through your workflow, and then Now I'm setting up the team because and it's dramatically reduced the amount of time it takes for them to actually call their leads. The amount they can call
Right.
has increased, right? By like triple, because you don't have to click into the contact, open it up, read the thing, call the number. Now it's just all lined up there, and it just auto dials for you, and then it asks you like, what's your, what was the outcome of that call? You enter in your notes, and by the time it's like the next call's already up, you could just bang out so many calls like that. I think that's like a really good must have for a team. You want them to be effective, you just set them up with the leads, you do your outbound, but then you set them up with a manual call action within the workflow.
Love it. So if I'm hearing you right, I want to re-explain it. Not re-explain it, but just like redo it. You have the workflow. Let's say it's the high equity workflow, and you can throw in there a manual call, and that is assigned to your team. Like somebody on your team has a manual call, and they can just go to manual calls and click go, and it starts like calling through all those people that are in that list.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And rather than them having to sit there and go, okay, 4, 6, 9, like dialing one by one and getting kind of confused and who did I call? All that stuff. It's just like a list that they just have to go through.
Yep.
Yeah. And have you seen more leads come in doing that? Is it kind of just, hey, I feel good that we're touching base there, or have you actually seen some results?
Yeah. So volume, in terms of volume, yeah, because uh the team went from being able to do, it was like 9 calls in 30 minutes to like over 20, and like in the same time frame, because of how long it take. Like they were now seeing, they're adding notes and everything, like they're going to the contact, they're they're looking at the detail, and then they're like calling the number, and then they're staying in the contact and just like switching from screen to screen to make updates and things is time consuming. So on the auto dialer, it's literally like, it's kind of like you are forcing yourself to like, oh, like the next call is coming up, like bam, because it's like I'm here's the outcome of the call, let me update my notes, and by that time it's already like next call is going, and so it just keeps your pace pretty high. You can pause it, but just that pace is like, so I was saying it like it doubled it, a bit more than doubled the output and volume. So uh
Love it.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So I mean, it is a numbers game to me. Like ever since I started, just like this is a numbers game. The more outreach you have, the more deals you're going to do. That's just how it goes, right? So doubling your effectiveness or doubling your output is incredible. Incredible. That's
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Okay, so Bobby, if someone wants to sign up, I don't know how many people are watching us, but if someone wanted to sign up, how would they even look at what's going on?
Yeah. So this is you can go to this URL too. So for Blast CRM, we have a lot of the automations built in there too, and like a lot of the things that we're showing, because I'm happy to walk through anybody, and I know Myron would be too, because there's a weekly call and for the Blast CRM, but we actually go like the manual dialer or the manual call action, and creating that auto dialer. Like I'm happy to show how I've done that. And Myron's done it as well. Like the text bot, the AI text bot, that's so like very successful in creating appointments without you having to do anything. Like what's the prompts look like for that? All those things, a lot of that's already pre-built into the template, or into Blast CRM. But then there's some other things too, just like, hey, there's tweaks that we're doing depending on what we're trying to do for with the business and what we're trying to accomplish. But a lot of those things have been built in there. So happy to share anything that we're talking about here, like more in detail. If anybody needs to see it, whether you use Blast CRM or something else too with Go High Level, there's a lot of cool little things that you might not think of that you could actually automate.
Can you put that link in the chat for us?
Yeah,
I don't know how you did that. Is that like an announcement or something?
it's a banner. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna copy it and
Okay.
then I'll post it
Does
as
it let
well.
you copy from the
Yep.
comments? Oh, cool.
All right, cool. So yeah, go to Get Blast CRM. Like just basically click on the link that we put in the chat. There's Bobby's ID on there, so make sure you get Bobby's ID on there. But yeah, check out the website. Check out, it shows you a bunch of the features that are available in there. What I've really been focusing on, Bobby, lately is websites. Building out websites that integrate. So like you have a form, like let's say it's like, all the ones that are like the Carrot websites, right? Buy my house now, sell my house fast, all those websites. And the form gets filled out. And what happens, a lot of the businesses like Carrot, you just get an email. That's it. And what I think is so cool, how the system is put together is when someone fills out that form, I'm sorry, but anything could happen after that. Whatever you think, whatever you need to happen can happen. Okay. So like someone fills out the form, I need to sell my house. They put their name, they put their phone number, and they put their address in. That can, once they click submit, it goes to the CRM. It gets put into a pipeline. A contact is created. They can send Bobby a text message. Hey, Bobby, you just got email. Sorry, you just got a website lead. Here's their name. Here's their phone number. Like how incredible would that be when someone fills out your website, you get a text message. And then let's go a step further. AI, once they fill out that form and they have their phone number in that form, you can tell the CRM, hey, send Bobby a text message, but also have AI reach out to that seller or that agent, whoever it is, have the AI reach out to the agent and ask them qualifying questions and set an appointment on Bobby's calendar so his team can reach out. Right? Speed to freaking lead. So all the people that are, and it also, something that just came out, Bobby, is you can have the CRM look at the SEO, like deep dive into the SEO of your website. It's a new feature that just came out. It is an extra charge, but that for a lot of people, building out an SEO website, having AI integrated into it, you can even have like a little chat bubble down at the, how they have like chat with me right now. You can add a little chat bubble to it. And it's, that part is pretty basic, but like having the form, having a website that's like, that looks nice and able to follow up and I like the ability for the SMS agent, the AI SMS, to qualify but also disqualify. Like, hey, this is some joker just saying $1 million. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it will do that for you if you teach it, right? Teach it how to disqualify. So, Bobby, I know we have like literally 5 minutes left on our podcast today, but what that to me is game changer when you have a lead magnet that AI can help you with. That's where things are going for me.
I would love to have we should have something just talking through that, because I think that's like a big enough that's like a big enough, because you can dive into that so much further and have conversations around like the things that happening in that workflow for you to create that, like what's the actual technical background, what does that look like to create something like that, and how does that work too, and and where else can you get creative with that to basically, yeah, because you're basically saving yourself a resource too. You're saving your, and then allowing the team that you're building to be able to really focus on the things that matter to get deals moving through, all the bottlenecks that are being created by little things like that, you're relieving.
Yes.
That's cool.
Waiting, the thing that people are having trouble with is waiting for their team to do the thing, waiting for their VA to do the thing, or their VA. We had when I first started, we had a couple of VAs, and they were just, we would teach them exactly what to do, but they'd still kind of like, no, I think we should do it like this. Like they would put their own spin on it, which is human nature, right? But like this allows us to be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. And once you kind of figure out the path that you want, you just replicate the path. That's it, right?
Hmm. I like that.
Okay, Bobby, we have 5 minutes left.
Cool.
What's the last thing we want to talk about?
I would say so. The last one is I don't even, do we have time to talk about spin tax? Or do we need
No,
more
it's
time,
too
right?
confusing.
It's cool. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, it's really cool, so we'll tease it, I guess, because it's a cool name too. So people probably like, what is that? Um, so the follow-up workflows, the last one too is follow-up workflows, and this is more strategic. I think it's, if you're getting into a CRM, it's not only organizing, it's organizing your opportunities and things like that, which Myron, you talked to, but I think the workflows, and they're built out in Blast CRM, which is really cool. But if you're going direct to agent and you have high equity or low equity that you're going after, um, right, like having the workflows that accommodate those, and the different, the messaging and the follow-up, the drip campaign and all that is important. But then it's like when you're flagging that response back and you're saying like, hey, the status of the listing is pending, or they said they're not interested, so on 30 days the follow-up, like that cadence and the things that you're building in there with your follow-ups is so huge, because most of those deals are being done in the follow-up. So it's like, instead of just continuously pulling new leads and putting them in there, like really dial in the game on follow-up and
Yep.
do so with the automation. And so I
Yep.
think it's more strategic, because it's not like groundbreaking stuff within the CRM, but it's just actually doing it and
Yep.
tweaking it.
Yep. I had this thought, sidebar. I had this thought to do a reactivation workflow. So a lot of people just add. And what kind of stinks about the whole thing is like, it's not the same agents that you're messaging every month. They're brand new. You're always looking at cold agents. They've never talked to you. They've never messaged with you. They don't know you, right? And so you have to quickly build credibility all the time in this business. And so like I was thinking of, okay, and let me kind of take a step back. I have 15,000 agents, which is actually a really small number, honestly. I have 15,000 agents in my CRM. Let me just, instead of going forward, let me look back in May and let me just run reactivation. I'm going to just text through all of my agents or email through all of my agents and say, hey, remember me? What do you have anything that you're looking to that I could take a look at? Have anything fix and flip? However you want to run that campaign, but a reactivation campaign where you're not just adding. Let's look back. They know us. We talked to them. And we need to continue to develop trust and credibility And it's honestly, it's easier with someone we've already talked with, right? It's hard to just cold text and cold email all the time to like, unless they're in severe pain about selling their house, right? But I mean, that's the whole thing. I want agents sending me what, Bobby, what if it was like Bobby's team doesn't have to pull leads anymore because he's worked so well to develop those relationships. It's done. Like he has 85 agents that send him a deal every month, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's what you want.
That's goal. That is the goals. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That is the goal. I love that. Cool.
Reactivation campaign coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm writing it down so I make sure I can talk through that with you. um all right, cool. Well, yeah, it's shorter episode than usual, but I mean I feel like it was just a lot of super helpful nuggets for everybody too. And honestly, if you're like, I want nothing to do with the CRM, but I have an acquisitions team and I'd love to learn more, like just reach out to either of us. Our handles are at the bottom here. You can reach out on Instagram, at Bobby Souza, at Myron Briley. And I mean, we will be happy to talk through that with you and even show you behind the curtain and kind of talk through any of the things that we talked about today. Yeah, anything else, Myron?
Next week, let's do a website breakdown or any other
Okay.
question that people bring. So like we'll do a website breakdown, show you like let's build a website in 2 hours, which I'll
Yeah.
show you how to use AI inside of the CRM to build a website really fast and hook up AI to it.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Let's
That
do it.
sounds great, man. Awesome. All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Talk to you later. See ya.